Hey, in today's video, I'm gonna share the 15 things that I just don't buy anymore. This whole month, we're talking about ways to fall in love with our home again, and I think the biggest impact we can have is just having less stuff. Getting organized is all about making your life easier and simplifying, and these 15 things that I used to buy just complicated my life and added to clutter. The first thing I don't buy anymore are unitaskers. I don't know if they're actually called that, but basically it's a gadget that only does one thing, so one task. It doesn't multitask at all. Kitchen gadgets are like a big offender. If you've seen something on an infomercial, don't buy it. It's probably a unitasker. So things that curl your carrots into little spirals, ice cream makers, bread makers, anything that only does one thing is probably something you shouldn't buy because it's adding up to clutter, especially the tiny kitchen gadgets that fill your drawer. Listen, if you have melon ballers, why? A spoon will do it. Or use a knife to chop something. You don't need a fancy egg slicer. Why do these exist? Why do these exist? I don't know, but they're definitely cluttering up your kitchen. They're overcomplicating cooking and preparing a meal. Let it all go, don't buy them anymore, and simplify your kitchen. This leads me to the next thing that I don't buy anymore, which is a little controversial, and I still struggle with this. This is the new fancy kitchen appliances, like little things, like air fryers. I gave in and I got an Instapot, and I have to say I love it, but I feel like George Foreman grills, there's always like a new, everyone needs fancy kitchen appliance coming out, right? Whether it's the Ninja fancy, whatever majigger. And we all fall into this. Even I'm like, do I need an air fryer? And the next thing we know, we have pantries and kitchen cabinets that are overstuffed with appliances that we never use. So I'm resisting it. I know in the comments you're all gonna say you guys need an air fryer. This is what I hear all the time. But it's all of these little kitchen appliances that add up to a lot of clutter. The next thing I don't buy anymore is greeting cards. And this is a little controversial, but here is the thing. I have decluttered hundreds of people's homes and they struggle with letting go of greeting cards. So many people, because it's guilty clutter. Someone bought you a card, they've given it to you, you feel bad letting it go, and I just don't give people greeting cards anymore. I don't buy them, it's guilty clutter, and I don't really feel bad about it. And I know it's weird, someone's having a birthday and you don't give them a card, but I'll give them a handwritten note, or I'll buy a candy bar and I'll put like a gift card on it, but no more greeting cards. I just see it as additional wasted money and wasted clutter. I don't buy souvenirs anymore, and we like to travel. We used to go a lot of places and I would always get a little something from all the places, and it just adds up to stuff everywhere. And I have so much regret about all the little souvenirs that I bought, so I just don't do that anymore, and I don't burden other people with souvenir gifts. We just spent a long time in New York, and I didn't even get one Statue of Liberty tchotchke, and I'm proud of myself because the best souvenir are the photos that you can take and have forever digitally. So let go of the actual physical stuff when you're traveling and stick to photos instead. Speaking of photos, this is something I don't buy anymore: school photos. Every year, you know, kids have school photos, and the packages start at around $40, and you get like 2 bad poses of, like, you know, with the books in the bag. It's terrible. And I don't spend money on school photos anymore. Instead, I take the money that I would spend on 3 sets of bad school photos, and I hire a professional photographer every September to take some mini photos of our family. So each of the kids get lots of single photos of them with different poses, but we also get family shots and just Joe and I and the 3 kids together, and sometimes the dog. It's less money to do this than it would be to buy a few poses from the school. The photos are so much better, and I don't have the physical clutter because it's digital and I can just print the ones I want. This next one is actually hard for me, but I don't buy craft supplies anymore. And I'm a crafter. I'll only buy supplies when I have the project in mind and I'm doing it that day or the next day. I no longer go into Michael's and I'm like, oh, scrapbooking paper's on sale, and I buy it for no reason, or purchase any craft supplies without the craft in mind. And I've done this because I have helped so many crafters declutter and organize their spaces, and they're always filled with unopened packages. thousands of dollars wasted because there's two types of crafters. There's those who actually make things, and there's those who buy the products to make things, but sometimes occasionally make things, but usually just shop. Are you a shopper or are you a crafter? Know the difference and only buy craft supplies when you have an exact craft in mind. The next thing I don't buy anymore, this is recent for me, but it's expensive makeups and face cream. I was always on the hunt for some anti-wrinkle magic cream that was gonna fix my face. And I have like terrible skin, so I'm always like trying to find the best makeup. Like, how do the Kardashians look so gorgeous? I better buy what they're buying. No. It ended up with a bathroom filled with half-used products that I didn't like, and my skin was worse than ever. I just went back to the basics, like the basics. CoverGirl, CC cream, no longer, I was spending over $100 on foundation. Not only am I saving a ton of money, but I'm feeling more confident in myself because every time I buy these products that are gonna fix my face and they don't, it's like a punch in the face, you know what I mean? So I've just given all of that up. My bathroom is cleaner, it's way less clutter, I have more money in my pocket, but I also feel better about myself too. I no longer buy audiobooks, and even physical books. We're starting to do the library thing. Did you know that you could download audiobooks from the library or get actual books, DVDs, movies, so many things from the library? I'm an avid reader and an avid listener to audiobooks, and so are my kids. It's really expensive and kind of fills your home fast when you're buying the paper copies. There are still books I want to have that I'll keep forever, but all those quick, like, laying in the backyard on a Saturday, those should be library books, so you're not filling up your home and wasting your money. This next one is sad for Joe. It's sad for Joe, but tools. And specifically tools that you know you're not gonna use very often, like a wet saw, okay? We were doing tile work and Joe's like, I need a wet saw, and he bought a wet saw. Anytime we do a project and he needs a big tool, he'll buy it and it just stays in our garage forever. Did you know you could rent tools from the hardware store really inexpensively? Home Depot rents everything, every saw, anything you could ever need. And if you're only gonna use it a few times, it's way better to rent it, not fill up your home, and not waste your money. If it is something you're gonna use on a regular basis, definitely buy the tool. It's cheaper to buy the tool, but really be honest with yourself. You wouldn't buy a carpet steamer, you would rent that. So why are you buying pressure washers when you're only gonna do your house once every 5 years? Or why are you buying some sort of table saw for one project that you need it for? Renting is definitely the way to go. This one's maybe a little bit weird, but I don't buy dryer sheets anymore because you know all those little like dryer sheets, you've used it and it's like in the bottom of your basket or stuck on your clothes. Anyways, I'm over that. Instead, I opt for the sponge. So I get a jar and I fill 1 cup of fabric softener to 6 cups of water. I drop in some sponges and that will last months. So 1 bottle of fabric softener will last me almost an entire year. So much cheaper than dryer sheets, works just the same, and it's better for the environment. I don't buy dryer sheets anymore, and you shouldn't either. I don't know if this one's gonna be controversial, but I don't buy large toys anymore. My kids are older, but even when they were younger, at Christmas, birthdays, you wanna get them something big and amazing. So you get the Barbie house or the race car track or something like that. And they play with it a couple of times, but most of the time they play with the accessories that go with the big things, and then you're left with this giant stuff that doesn't fit in a tote in your living room forever or their bedroom. You know what I'm saying? We don't buy big toys. We buy things that fit into baskets, things we can hide, because the truth is they're playing with those smaller things most of the time anyways. You don't need the big thing, you just need the accessories that go with it. And so they'll play on their bed or on the floor or with the cardboard box, and you'll be happy because you don't have giant toys taking over your home. Are you ready for this one? Some of you are probably never gonna give it up, but I'm just gonna say, bulk food. I don't buy it anymore. I gave up my Costco card. No regrets. Hashtag no regrets. Where did I put all that toilet paper? The paper towels? It was always like on the floor or shoved in a closet. There would be so much of, I needed like 6 of them and I'd get 12. I would have expired food, things I forgot about. I was wasting money. I was making cooking harder because I had so much excess, thinking I was saving money when it was really costing me money. But more than that, it was costing me my space in my home, which was making me stressed out. So I don't buy bulk food anymore. And I'm just gonna say it, you shouldn't either. 13 is a given. I don't buy magazines anymore. I feel like, does anyone buy magazines anymore? I used to have a real addiction. And every time I went to the grocery store, I would get a magazine to come home. I'd flip through it for 5 minutes, and then it would be clutter and wasted money just somewhere in my house. And I felt guilty getting rid of them because I knew I had spent money on them. So somehow holding on to them was gonna make it worth it. And it was this vicious cycle that added up to like so many magazines. So that's it, I've given it up. I don't buy magazines anymore. And this one might be a little weird, but I also don't buy planners and fancy stationery. And it's weird because I'm a professional organizer, so I feel the need to have planners. So I would buy like all these different fancy planners and the stickers that went with it, thinking that I was going to be a more organized person or finally find the one that actually works. Now I just have a drawer in my desk where all the half-used planners go to die. Because guess what? Spoiler alert, I'm not a planner person, and all the fancy stationery I've ever bought, some of which has my name on it, like what? I'm a Post-it girl. So there, I'm not buying that anymore. It's a waste of money. I've let go of Fantasy Cass, who's like super organized with her sticker planner. Real Cass just uses her phone. And the last thing that I don't buy anymore is anything themed. So themed sheets for my kids, if they're doing their room. I used to buy like princess and mermaid, and oh my gosh, what a waste. They grow so fast. But I also don't buy themed clothing anymore. So I don't buy Christmas outfits or Easter outfits or t-shirts that say, "Kiss me, I'm Irish," because, you know, it's St. Patrick's Day. It just added up to a lot of clutter, and it seemed really cute at the time, but because kids grow so fast, and even me, I don't want to have things in my closet that I can only wear 1 week out of the year. So I've given all of the themed things up, even my adorable fall with the pumpkin shirts. Nope, not doing it anymore. I've given up themed things. So thanks so much for watching. I'd love to know in the comments what's something that you don't buy anymore that you used to buy all the time. Maybe it's even controversial. That's okay. Everyone be nice to each other. It's all about simplifying our lives, having less clutter, saving money, and just living a happier life in a home that we love. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Next week we have some makeover videos coming, which I'm very excited for. You don't want to miss them. We'll see you then. So thanks so much for those of you who have stayed to the end. So this is the first week that my kids are back to school, and they weren't in school for a really long time because we were in New York and they were homeschooling and COVID. So it's been cool, except here's the thing, my poor kids. Every single one of their teachers on the first day brought up in class that they know who I am and they watch my show and they're a fan of Hot Mess House. And I was like, did you know that Izzy, who's in grade 10, mom has a show on HGTV called Hot Mess House? Cue mortal embarrassment. It also happened to Abby, who's in grade 8 this year, and Milo, who's in grade 4. All of which they don't think, my kids do not think it's cool. Like if we're out somewhere, this doesn't happen very often, but if someone's like, oh, I love your show, they're like, oh my, mom, you're so lame. Why do these people like you? And so now that the entire class knows, in all of their classes, my kids came home mortified. They're embarrassed. They also, you don't see them a lot in my videos because they don't want to be in my videos because apparently I am the most embarrassing person on the face of the earth. So maybe this is normal. Is this like teenagers? Yes, I know it's normal, but I feel like it's amplified in this house, especially if we go somewhere and somebody, you know, recognizes me or says something, or their teacher in the class, and now all their friends know. Mortal embarrassment all around. But anyways, I thought I'd share that with you. And also let me know in the comments below if your kids also think you're lame, and when is the age where they start thinking you're cool again? I was the coolest person ever until maybe grade 2, grade 3. Then it's just Lamesville. I'm just lame. I can't wait for the time where they think I'm awesome again. I'll see you guys next time.